Hi everyone, today I'm going to show you the top mistakes that students usually make when solving a trigonometrical equation. Knowing when and how to avoid them could mean the difference between a distinction or a pass in the examinations. So if you are ready, let's jump right into the first example. So a typical question goes like this: solve the following trigo equation given that x is between 0 and 360 degrees inclusive. So we see that this student started to isolate the trigo ratio, found the basic angle, identified the right quadrants, but there are two missing answers. Which brings us to mistake number 1, failing to modify or amend the range of x. So let's look at the diagram over here. In the original range of x, the values of our answers should lie between 0 and 360 degrees. However, the question states that the angle is now 2x, which means we need to go one more cycle round the quadrants, which gives us two more valid answers. So always amend the range as such by multiplying 2 to 0 on the left and 360 on the right. We can then correct this working by simply adding 360 degrees to 210 degrees, meaning we are going another round, and to add 360 degrees to 330 degrees. Now some might ask whether we need to add another 360 degrees to this value, but doing so will give us 930 degrees, and it does not fall within this range, so we shouldn't be doing that. So the range actually helps us to scope the answers. Now in the case of this question, 2x is equals to 210 degrees, 330, 570, and 690 degrees. But don't just stop here. Remember, we need to find the value of x, so we divide every term by 2 to give us 105 degrees, 165 degrees, 285 degrees, and 345 degrees. Now, the next avoidable mistake that some students might make is to include a minus sign when we find the basic angle of a trigo ratio. This will seriously mess things up, like for this example. Always remember to take only a positive value. In this case, it is cosine inverse positive square root 3 over 2 and not negative square root 3 over 2. Remember to always disregard the minus sign when we find the basic angle. If we were to do this correctly, the basic angle will then be 30 degrees instead. A general rule is that if your basic angle is an obtuse value, something is wrong somewhere. And oh wait, there's another error over here, which brings us to mistake number 3, identifying incorrect quadrants or failing to identify the right ones. Now observe that this cosine ratio is negative because of the negative square root 3 over 2. Thus, x plus 45 degrees should also lie in the third quadrant. So by including this quadrant, we will then have one more answer. X plus 45 degrees will then be 180 degrees minus 30 degrees, 180 degrees plus 30 degrees, and then by simplifying further, x is equals to 105 degrees or 165 degrees. Don't forget to bring over the 45 degrees so that you can find the exact value of x. Now in the last example, this student seems to be doing everything correctly. Look at the first step. He has isolated tangent 2x, which is equals to square root 3 over 3. The student has also amended or modified the range to give us 0 less than 2x less than 720 degrees. He has taken the positive value square root 3 over 3 to find the basic angle, which is 30 degrees. The quadrants are also identified correctly. 2x lies in the first or third quadrant because tangent 2x is a positive ratio for this case. But let's look at the last line over here. 2x is equals to 30 degrees, 270 minus 30, 30 plus 360, 270 degrees minus 30 plus 360. Now this is where mistake number 4 comes in, where these answers circled over here takes reference from the y-axis. This is a truly avoidable mistake. Now always take reference from the x-axis, meaning if you would like to find the angle in the first quadrant always take 0 plus that basic angle. If you like to find the angle in the second quadrant, take 180 degrees minus that basic angle, so on and so forth. For the third quadrant, 180 degrees plus that basic angle, and in the fourth quadrant, 360 degrees minus that basic angle. So always take reference with the x-axis when you are finding the required angle. Thus, 2x is equals to 30 degrees, 180 degrees plus 30 degrees, because we are taking reference with respect to the x-axis, and 390 degrees and 210 degrees plus 360 degrees. Now to find the exact value of x, all we need to do is to divide 2 on every term. So we have 15 degrees, 105 degrees, 195 degrees, and 285 degrees. So do your best not to commit these errors so that you can avoid careless mistakes in the examination. Instead, what we can do is to remember these 5 important steps to solving any trigo equations. Number 1, isolate the trigo ratio, meaning you shouldn't have any numbers before the trigo ratio, but just a coefficient of 1. Number 2, modify the range of x or the unknown if required. Number 3, find the basic angle and remember to take the positive value of the trigo ratio. Number 4, identify the correct quadrants. And the last step is to solve for the unknown. Now if you like this video, do hit the subscribe button. Do leave your comments below if you have any requests for videos or any questions that you might have. Thanks for watching.